Deshaun Watson was once seen as one of the brightest young stars in the NFL. Known for his exciting style of play, strong leadership, and positive attitude, Watson quickly gained fans and admiration from teammates and coaches. He achieved fame through his impressive college career at Clemson University and continued his success as the quarterback for the Houston Texans. Many believed he would become one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of football. He had consistently thrown for over 4,000 yards, had a quarterback rating above 100, and was looking like the real deal. However, Watson's promising career faced a major turning point in early 2021. Numerous women accused him of inappropriate behavior and assault during massage therapy sessions. Over 24 lawsuits were filed, turning Watson's story from one of success into one of controversy and public scrutiny. The entire world turned against him as over 20 allegations of terrible behavior filled the media, and his career quite literally never recovered. Even when the Browns decided to give him one of the most ridiculous contracts ever seen in professional sports. This video showcases Watson's rise to fame, the scandal that drastically changed his public image, the responses from the NFL, and how all these events have impacted Watson's life, career, and future, if there is any future to even speak about at this point. Deshaun Watson's journey to NFL stardom began in Gainesville, Georgia, where his talent became clear at an early age. Watson dominated high school football with his incredible skills and leadership, quickly attracting attention from top colleges nationwide. He was heavily recruited by almost all major programs, but chose to go to a college that would be able to use his talent most effectively. He chose Clemson University, believing it offered the best opportunity for success. At Clemson, Watson quickly became a household name. He guided the Tigers to 2 national championship games, winning the second in dramatic fashion against Alabama in 2016. This victory solidified Watson's reputation as not only a talented athlete, but also a determined leader who could perform under pressure. Watson received several awards and honors, further raising his profile as he prepared to move to the professional level. At this point, he was a surefire NFL prospect, and while he had concerning behavior off the field, his level of talent meant it was worth overlooking for most franchises. Drafted by the Houston Texans in 2017, Watson's success in the NFL came swiftly. Despite an early injury, he bounced back and quickly became a star player. He broke team records, earned 3 Pro Bowl selections, and was recognized as one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Watson also became beloved in Houston for his off-field efforts, including charity work and community engagement, making him a local hero. The city of Houston was incredibly proud of their quarterback, and on the surface it seemed like he was doing everything right to make himself an NFL legend. His future appeared bright and limitless, but soon his reputation would face a significant challenge. Everything changed dramatically in March 2021, when Watson found himself at the center of shocking allegations. A massage therapist accused Watson of inappropriate conduct during a session. Quickly, other women came forward with similar accusations, causing a national sensation. Eventually, over 24 women filed lawsuits, accusing Watson of harassment and assault. The accusations shared troubling similarities, raising concerns and leading many to doubt Watson's innocence. Watson strongly denied the accusations, insisting they were attempts to exploit his fame. Despite his denials, public opinion quickly turned against him, creating intense debates about how athletes and celebrities often use their power. Media coverage was extensive and critical, placing Watson at the center of intense public scrutiny. His reputation was severely damaged, leaving his career and future uncertain. It seemed like anytime someone spoke about the NFL, they couldn't help but discuss Watson. As public pressure began to mount, both the Texans and the NFL were faced with a hard choice. Following the initial accusations, Watson faced significant legal battles. Attorney Tony Busby represented the women accusing Watson, and he aggressively pursued the cases publicly, making the scandal widely known. Watson endured numerous court appearances, depositions, and media attention. A grand jury reviewed criminal charges, but ultimately decided not to indict Watson. However, the civil cases continued, keeping Watson's legal issues prominently in the spotlight. Despite many thinking he had gotten off easily by avoiding criminal charges, Watson wasn't entirely out of the woods yet. The NFL launched its own investigation into Watson's behavior, but faced criticism for its slow response. Critics argued that the league should have acted faster and more decisively. Meanwhile, the Texans grappled with the fallout, eventually deciding that Watson could no longer represent their team. This created serious team management challenges and forced the Texans into difficult decisions regarding their franchise quarterback. Eventually, they decided to part ways with him, realizing there was no way he would ever be the same after this. Despite all he had been pretending to do for Houston to protect his image, these problems were just way too large to ignore. However, his football talent was enough to lead to one of the most boneheaded decisions in league history. Despite Watson's unresolved legal problems, the Cleveland Browns made a controversial decision to trade for him. The Browns offered Watson a massive, fully guaranteed contract worth $230 million, one of the largest in NFL history. This move sparked outrage among fans, media, and the public, who saw the Browns prioritizing winning over ethical considerations. Not to mention, he was still coming off a potentially career-ending injury. Handing someone in these conditions a fully guaranteed deal would be insane, but one of that size was such a large gamble, there was almost no way it was ever going to pay off. Still, the Browns being the dumpster fire they are, proceeded. The Browns claimed Watson deserved another chance, defending their decision to bring him onto their team. Nevertheless, the move divided fans, with many expressing disappointment and discomfort. This controversy highlighted ongoing debates about morality and ethics in professional sports, particularly regarding athletes accused of misconduct. The Browns felt like giving him a chance was the right thing to do. They even parted ways with Baker Mayfield, who had won them their first playoff game in years, in order to make room for Watson's massive contract. Finally, after much debate, he was suspended for the first 11 games of the 2022 season, fined $5 million, and many thought there was no way he would ever be able to return to that level of play. The Browns had to keep paying him his fully guaranteed deal, despite him being unable to play for a majority of his first season, and when he did finally take the field, things didn't really improve. Watson struggled greatly, making mistakes, throwing interceptions, and failing to lead the team effectively. His poor play led many fans and experts to question if the Browns had made a serious mistake. The man he had been in Houston was clearly gone, and in his place was a quarterback who seemed like all of his magic had run out. It didn't help that his poor play furthered the criticism of the league and team. The fans did not want to support him, and anytime he made a poor play, he was met with deserved criticism. Eventually, Watson's struggles became so severe that the Browns began to doubt whether he should even remain their starting quarterback. The once star player, who was given one of the richest contracts in NFL history, was now at risk of losing his position. The Browns had hoped Watson would bring them victories and championships, but instead, they faced disappointment and regret. Another serious knee injury sealed the deal. There was no way Deshaun Watson was ever going to be a serious NFL-level starter again. In 2024, before his injury, he had only 1,100 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. He had gone from consistently having Pro Bowl-level play to a quarterback rating of just 79. The kicker was that the Browns were still on the hook for paying him the remainder of his massive $250 million contract. There was no way out of it, as they had been dumb enough to give him an entirely guaranteed deal. The Browns have decided to move on, but the crazy contract will haunt them forever at this point. Anyone with a brain should have known taking a chance on a quarterback involved in this situation was anything other than a surefire thing. But here we are. The Browns still don't have a franchise quarterback, and the one they traded away has found a huge amount of success with the Buccaneers. It will always be a huge what-if of what could have been if they had just kept Baker Mayfield instead of moving on. However, there is one thing that is certain in the NFL, and that's the Browns self-inflicting losses onto themselves. Deshaun Watson's story illustrates how quickly fame and success can crumble under controversy. Once celebrated as a hero, Watson now struggles with a complicated and uncertain legacy. His experiences have prompted serious conversations about accountability, athlete behavior, and the responsibilities of professional sports leagues. There will always be a dark side to his time in the league. No amount of Pro Bowl selections or passing yards will make up for nearly 30 allegations similar to what he was accused of. It doesn't matter at this point, even if he goes on to win 5 Super Bowls, that part of his legacy is sealed. Moving forward, Watson's journey will likely remain under intense scrutiny. The NFL, teams, and fans must grapple with the lessons learned from this scandal, seeking better ways to manage similar situations in the future. Whether Watson can truly rebuild his career and reputation remains unclear, leaving his legacy deeply uncertain. I highly doubt that he will ever get a chance with an NFL team ever again. The odds are much too stacked against him, and he spent the last several years being less than good. At this point, his best bet is to take his $230 million and disappear from the public eye for good. But what do you think? If you enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe, because we post videos like this often. Our last video was about the rise and fall of Johnny Manziel. It's on your screen now, be sure to give it a watch.